In Jerusalem, secrets are buried deep beneath the stone. But love, like this city, endures forever.
Stone City breathes in golden light, 1,000 years of fading sound. The winding path your mother walked is etched upon this hallowed ground. Yerushalayim, your quiet grace.
So if you're watching The Beauty Queen of Jerusalem outside of Israel right now, you probably think you're right in the middle of season 2.
Yeah, you definitely think that based on the app.
Right, but you're not. You're actually watching a ghost of a season. It's chopped up, repackaged, and completely finished. So welcome to this custom deep dive where we're going to try to wrap our heads around what actually happened to the Ermosa family.
And we really need to unpack why the streaming numbers are, basically lying to you.
Exactly. I mean, trying to figure out Netflix season numbers is honestly like trying to solve advanced calculus.
It really is. Because to understand the show's future, or I guess lack of one, we first have to decipher its really complicated past. It all comes down to modern international distribution models.
Okay, so break that down for us. What exactly have we been watching?
Well, when the show originally aired on Israel's Yes Drama channel, it had a very specific, complete broadcast structure. But then Netflix swooped in and bought the international rights. And they essentially took the first broadcast run and just chopped it right in half. They labeled that first half season 1, parts 1 and 2.
Oh, wow. So what international viewers are calling season 2 is literally just the back half of that original production block.
Exactly. It's like, imagine they bought a huge single duplex house, painted the two halves different colors, and then sold them back to you as 2 separate mansions.
That is wild. So Netflix basically sliced a giant cake into smaller pieces just to make it look like we got more desserts.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, from a business perspective, it lets a streaming platform stretch out viewer retention across multiple financial quarters.
Without actually paying for a new production.
Right. It creates this highly effective illusion of ongoing renewed content.
But wait, if the show is such a massive global hit, why on earth wouldn't Netflix just fund a genuine season 3 themselves? I mean, we saw them do exactly that when they took over Money Heist. Are they just leaving money on the table?
You think so, right? It seems like an obvious move to just throw money at a hit. But the reality is, the original creative team in Israel firmly believes the multi-generational saga is just fully explored.
Wait, so it's completely over?
Completely over. The series officially concluded its broadcast run in Israel back in March 2023. So yeah, there is no season 3 coming from Netflix or anyone else.
Man, since they aren't funding a new season, that abrupt finality really forces us to look closely at the ending we actually got.
It does.
Because the way this story wraps up, it perfectly captures the core DNA of the whole show. You've got this lush 1920s to 1940s British Mandate era setting, but
it's the audio landscape that really pulls you in.
Yes. The mix of languages is so cool. You're hearing Hebrew, English, and then, crucially, Ladino.
Yeah, that Judeo-Spanish dialect, historically preserved by Sephardic Jews, it provides this incredible level of cultural texture that, mainstream English language platforms rarely feature.
It totally roots the characters in their history and just grounds the drama, especially that central romance between Luna, played so well by Swell Ariel Orr and David.
Right, it's constantly hitting these massive political and structural walls.
But beneath the historical sweep, the real antagonist of the show is the quote-unquote curse of the Ermosa women, this deeply ingrained belief that they literally cannot be truly loved.
Exactly. And by the end of that final production block, characters like Rosa and Mercury are fighting fiercely just to break that specific trauma. The show kind of pivots.
Yeah, from a standard historical romance into a story of survival, highlighting that incredibly painful process of unlearning old, destructive family patterns.
Which really shifts the tone of the finale.
It does. And here's where it gets really interesting to me. Is a bittersweet survival story actually more satisfying for you as a viewer than a neat, tied with a bow fairy tale? Because I kept wanting a clean, happy ending for them.
I get that. But a fairy tale ending would have been entirely dishonest to the historical reality of the British Mandate era.
That's a good point.
The show brilliantly uses that external political turbulence as a mirror for the high-stakes personal drama. I mean, the world around them is fracturing, and the family is fracturing right alongside it. The closure had to reflect that chaos to resonate.
Okay, yeah. So we're left with this deeply satisfying, yet definitely bittersweet void. For anyone missing that specific blend of historical weight and intense emotional depth, where do they go next?
Well, if the main draw for you was Michael Aloni's acting, Schissel is mandatory viewing for a really intimate look at family dynamics in Jerusalem.
Oh, I've heard amazing things about that one.
It's fantastic. Also, for a strong period piece focusing on ambition and societal shifts, The Exchange is excellent.
Yeah.
Or look at Unorthodox, which masterfully tackles that exact theme of breaking away from heavy generational expectations.
I am absolutely adding Stissel to my queue tonight. That sounds perfect.
You'll love it.
So before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. We watched the Ermosa women battle their so-called family curse. Think about the recurring curses in our own lives or the legends passed down in your own families. How many of them are really just unexamined generational trauma, quietly waiting for one brave generation to finally step up and break the cycle?